Alright guys, let me unfreeze this. I'm going to walk through how to do this worksheet that you guys have, the periodic table basics. Now as we go through notes, I'll get a little bit more in depth on all of this, but for right now I just need you guys to understand how to fill in these cards. So step one is to complete the card for each element. Now in class they'll be working on this today and Thursday, and part of their homework Friday will be making sure that all those cards are complete, that they are colored, and possibly even start trying to tape them together in class on Thursday. We'll see where they're at then. I'll let you guys know. But anyways, what we have, if you look at a periodic table, which I'll post another one here. I've posted one down in important information, so you can always get one from there too. Is if I'm looking at like boron, for instance, because this is what they're using in step one to show you. On my periodic table, the name is up here. Not all periodic tables are exactly the same. This is just the one that is in class. And then the atomic number. So what we have here is we have a name, we have a symbol, and we have a mass and an atomic number. Now this atomic number tells us something. It tells us the number of protons. But it also, in a neutral element, if I have 5 positive protons, I'm also going to have 5 negative electrons. So it also tells me on neutral elements, which all of these will be this chapter, it's going to tell me the electrons also. So this is my atomic number. And it's going to tell me how many protons and electrons there are. The number down here, my mass. This is atomic mass. And my atomic mass I get from adding my protons and my neutrons together. All right, so knowing this now, let's go over and fill in this card off to the side. So it says number 1 is where I'm going to put my atomic number, and that is 5. So I'm going to put a 5 there. Number 2 is the name, and the name is boron. So they all will give you the symbol so that you know which element you're working with. 3 is the atomic mass. Now I know it says 10.811, but during the notes we will learn that this is just an average. Not all borons weigh 10.811 grams. This is an average number, so it's okay for us to round, and we're going to round that up to 11. So now I'm at protons, neutrons, and electrons. So I look up here and I see that this was my proton and electron number. So protons are 5 and electrons are 5. Now for my neutrons, I know that my mass, this 11, equals my protons plus my neutrons. So you just subtract the two, 11 minus 5, or you can ask yourself, okay, 5 plus what equals 11? And that is 6. Now in class, my periodic table that is on the wall, the big one, it will tell you if it's a solid, liquid, or a gas. If you're at home, you may have to look those up online. You may be able, and you may not have to look up each individual one. If you can find a periodic table online that tells you that, then you can just have that right there and do them all at once. But boron, and if you look in here, it is a solid. Most of them are going to be solids, and I don't believe you have any liquids on this worksheet. There's only 2 liquids at room temperature, and that's bromine and mercury. Everything else is a solid or a gas. All right, now then, when I'm doing these Bohr diagrams, these two, I'm using electrons, and you'll see me do this E with the negative because electrons are negative, and that's how I will usually write them real quickly. I'll just say E negative instead of electron. And I'm going to use my electrons. Not that protons and neutrons aren't important, but my electrons are what cause things to react, and we will really be looking at those throughout this year in chemistry. So the Bohr diagram, I've got circles over here. So how you do a Bohr diagram is your first circle can hold 2 electrons, and we will get into that in the notes on why that is the case. But for right now, I just want you to know how to do this. If you look, the next circle can hold 8 electrons. The next one after that can hold 8, and then you would go to a new circle. I don't believe that we go beyond 3 circles in this particular activity. All right, so we have 2, 8, and 8. So if I'm looking at just electrons, I have 5 electrons. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and now it's full. I'm going to go 3, 4, 5. So there's my 5 electrons. Now you could have on that outer circle, you could have done this. You could have put a circle and then you could have bunched them all together like this, because in nature these electrons are constantly moving and they're all over the place. I do it this way. I do top, side, bottom, and then I would do side if I needed another electron, because that makes your life easier when we're doing these cards and when you have to go to answer the questions. All right, now number 7, draw the Lewis structure. The Lewis structure, we use what are called valence electrons, and those are the outer shell. So here I'm going to take the 3 that are on the outside and I'm going to place them around boron. And now the card is finished. So that's how you're going to do every card. We have 2 pages of cards. I do have this, I have it pulled up on Cami. You can use Cami to make dots. So if you wanted with Cami, you could, and I'll do the next one. I'll do an example with you guys using Cami. So I'm going to clear this out and clear the ink. I'm going to do aluminum because there's something that I kind of forgot to do on this one. But anyways, up here at the top, I'm going to, if you look, number 1 was the atomic number. So if you look at your periodic table, and I'm going to do a text box here, right there, the atomic number for aluminum is 13. Okay, I can move that right there. Now this next line right here is going to be the name, so I'm going to add another text box here, and I'm just going to write the name of it, aluminum. Now you can drag this if you want it more center. You can drag it. You can, let me get in there. You can make it bigger if you want. Here we go. Like I can change it to 18 point font. I can change it to 24. Well, trying anyway. Anyways, you can do that. The next box here, this is going to be, if you look up here, number 3 is going to be the atomic mass. So I'm going to, do you need a piece of paper? You can get it. So number 3 is going to be atomic mass. And for aluminum, if we round up, it is 27. Now it's big. There we go. All right, 27. Once again, you can move that wherever you want. So my protons are going to come from this atomic number up here. So I'm going to do text box for 13. I'm going to do another text box here for 13. My neutrons are taking my mass number minus my protons, or you could just say mass minus the atomic number, and that is going to give you 14. All right, so now if you look at aluminum, or if you look this up, aluminum is a solid. So I'm going to draw, and you can use whatever color you want. I'm just going to I'll use this color here. So it's a solid, so I'm just going to do a dot there. So now aluminum, we use our electrons for our Bohr and our Lewis models. So for aluminum we have, in fact, let me move this guy up here a little bit. We've got 13 electrons. So I'm going to add my 13 electrons here. I'm just going to stay with this blue color, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll come up here and I will put them together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm not to my 13 yet, but I'm full at 8. So what I had forgot to do is I forgot to put a circle on here, a bigger circle. So I'm going to add a larger circle on here. You're welcome. I'm going to erase this little circle I just made. well, it got rid of my big circle. All right, guys, bear with me. I've not done a shape on here before, so this is new. All right, so I'm going to do a bigger circle around that. And I think I got rid of one of my dots. Got rid of one of my electrons when I was erasing. Oh, no. I'm trying to find if there is a back arrow. If you guys know how to get back, like to undo something you just did, let me know, because I'm really not sure yet. Guys, bear with me. So I got to put my circle back. All right, the circle is staying blue for right now. So let me put my electron there. Oh my gosh, I just did it. So you can see what not to do. Let's erase this again. Okay. Let me put my dot back. There's my dot. Here's my shape. I'm going to go ahead and do the black circle. I'm going to put my circle right there, and then I'm going to go to drawing. Make sure I'm back at drawing again. So right now I have 10 electrons there, and I need 13. So there's 10, there's 11, 12, 13. All right, and so that's my Bohr model. Now my Lewis just wants the outer electrons. So I only have 3 outer electrons. So that is your element card. Now the thing is that eventually these things do need to be cut out. So it's one of those things where you can do this on Cami, but we will eventually need to cut these cards out. So that might be something you want to take into consideration before you do it all on Cami, or if you have the ability to print this out, or however you want to do it. But either way, that is an option for you. Okay. That is it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But for today and tomorrow, which is Thursday, they're going to be working on filling these cards in. Now, hopefully by tomorrow, they can have all these cards filled in. What I'm going to ask of them that for Friday, for remote learning day, is that they have their cards filled in and colored. And then come Monday, we will start to cut these things out and put them on the periodic table. Right? If you guys have anything, any questions at all, let me know. Thanks.